This is the Nikon Nikkor, a 50mm f1.4 vintage glass, and it is one of my favorite lenses I have ever used. I got this lens about 2 years ago, and the moment I saw the image quality that came out from this lens, I instantly fell in love with how much character this lens really has. Originally, I think this was made in intention to be a stills photography lens, but come on, it's a lens, you could use it for anything. I'm surprised I don't really see this lens talked about more, especially in a filmmaker's perspective. Now, the way I even stumbled upon this lens, I was just looking for vintage lenses that will go on the Sony E-mount. Now, couldn't describe why this one in particular caught my eye. I mean, it's a lens that came out, I think, in the 1960s. It's a very old lens, but something about it told me that I just had to get it. Now, when I ordered it and it came to my doorstep, normally it's just a Nikon F mount, but it came with this mount and it just turns it to a Nikon F to a Sony E mount. And at that time I was using my Sony FX3, and as soon as I put it on my Sony FX3, the images that came out of it was just something special to behold. I instantly fell in love with how it looked. I mean, just going in my backyard and just seeing how the lens performs, it just wowed me. Now, one thing I found interesting about this lens is that when you focus, the lens actually moves and protrudes a little bit. And it is a clicky f-stop. I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really care either way. I usually just set it to an f-stop that I want it to be and just leave it for the scene. I think the best feature with this lens is the bokeh of it is just gorgeous. Every time I have this with a background of trees and I have the subject in the foreground, there's something magical about it. And of course, it has that nice vintage characteristics that's very appealing, at least to my eyes. Now, currently I am shooting with my IRIX 30mm t1.5 cine lens, but sometimes I want a lens that has a bit more character, and this is the lens I always go for. Granted, I don't really have many lenses to begin with, but needless to say, it's still a wonderful lens. Currently, I think you could find this in the B&H used store for around $300, but if you are in the market of a nice vintage lens, I do believe this might be the one that you are looking for. There's a cat wants me to come in. One thing about this lens that really surprised me is that how heavy it actually is for the size of it. I did not expect this to be super robust. In fact, I probably think that this lens would probably outlive me if I take really good care of it. Now, this does have screw-on thread, so if you want to put on like a variable ND or a Pro Mist filter, this does have the capabilities to do that. Now, usually when I use this lens, I only stay at f2.8. Usually with f1.4, the image is just a little too soft for my liking. It's just a super nice lens, and I definitely think if you're in the market of a nice heavy-duty vintage lens, this could be the one that you're looking for. And again, I'm just so surprised of how little people even talk about it or maybe even know about it. It is definitely one of my favorite lenses that I've used to this date, and I just can't recommend it enough. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Keep on rolling, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Kitten, you just want some pets. Is that what you wanted? Yes, I know. What is it? Look. Oh, alright. You want to say hi to the people? Say hi. Meow. 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 Okay. Okay.